Hey guys, how's it going? Muthurajah here. That was me trying to do a perfect take for an intro, but that didn't really work out. But anyway, I'm here to share with you one simple yet effective exercise. Okay, so this is perfect if you're a beginner, and I'll show you a couple of ways if you're an intermediate player or you're looking to get to the advanced stage with this particular thing. Okay, so before I get to the lesson, I actually want to make a mention of certain things. Okay, just because you have a great technical execution in terms of an exercise, it doesn't make you an advanced player by default. It just makes you good at playing an advanced exercise, which is not the same as being forward in the game of being a strong musician. All right. So whatever little things that I share on here is basically small building blocks that enables you to become stronger overall. Okay. So this exercise is one of those things that in isolation, it'll get you to a very strong technical place, possibly, but it doesn't add to musicianship and a lot of other things. So don't take this out of context. Okay, this is an enabler. You add it to what you're already doing and what you're already practicing. Okay, so for all the beginners, or maybe you've been playing for a couple of years, okay, one thing we are all comfortable playing are scales. Good old C major is back, although I recorded the intro on G, I think. Anyway, C major. So typically what starts to happen is that once we get comfortable here, we do 2 octaves, regardless of where we do it, or 3 octaves. Okay, and then we start to do sequences, and by sequences I mean like thirds, fourths, fifths, obviously, six, and then sevens, okay. I just wanted to quickly play through them because I want you to hear that in that particular situation. So then what happens is that we try to scale up in the subdivision zone. So we play 16th notes against the metronome, or 16-note triplets, so on and so forth, in a similar fashion where you're either playing 1 octave, 2 octaves, or sequences. One thing that we completely neglect and don't do is actually playing rhythmic subdivisions, but without crossing over the strings or notes. Okay, so for starters, the simplest thing you can do is double your notes and just play 1 octave. Repeat the note at the top, the octave note, and the root note on the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is doubled. And then you can triple it. 1, 1, 2. So the thing with doing this kind of stuff is that you will notice, as simple as it sounds, it's not the cleanest thing to do. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do clean. Sorry, let me rephrase that. it's not the easiest thing to do clean, because when you play one note once and then move on to the next, regardless of it being scale or improvising or playing bass lines. So when you do these kind of things, it's a little more straightforward. But if you doubled your notes, it starts to play with your picking hand, okay? Because depending on what finger you start with, the way you cross strings up and down can get affected very much, okay? And then on top of that, you would have noticed that I started trying to count when I was tripling the notes, if that's even a word. Yeah, doubling, tripling. But I couldn't count in my head because I'm trying to think, what subdivision am I using here, right? So for starters, what I want you to do is just double and then do threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And don't be too concerned about where in the grid is it going to fall. Just make sure you get it nice and clean and clear. Okay? So this is something as a beginner going to intermediate stage that you can use. And then you take sequences and do the same thing. Thirds. So this is me doubling the notes, and then threes. You get the idea. And then obviously you can do fourths. As easy as that might sound or look, it is not. I'll guarantee you all the money that I have. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, so now to take these exact same principles and to make it advanced, you can just do one simple thing. You combine 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. So you can, let's say if I'm doing just going up the scale 1 octave, I can do 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh shoot! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. You see, what happens is when I'm doing the 3 and 2, I have a tendency to want to play 3 and 3, okay? Because it's confusing. And certain points you would have heard that the notes are not really moving clearly into each other. And of course, I'm playing this pretty quick right now for the sake of this lesson. So let me try doing it slower. So 3, 1, 2. That's a lot better. If you didn't guess it already, what you can do with this sequences. Thirds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then 2 and 3. Okay, and obviously depending on what sequences you do, if you do 6, it gets tricky. And then you can combine 3 2 2 3 or 2 2 3 3. Okay, and if you want to push this even further, you can start displacing your starting point, okay, which starts to mess around with the whole resolution of it. So I don't want to talk about it in this video because that's a very important aspect of bass playing, which I feel like I can do in multiple parts. Okay, so I'll do a separate series of videos on that. But I hope this helps. Okay, take it slow and try to just keep everything clean and clear and concise. All right, I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in the shed until the next one. Peace.